Hi, I'm Elizabeth Doherty Thomas,
And I'm Bill Doherty.
and we're co-founders of the Doherty Relationship Institute. So if you have read about discernment counseling and you think this is exactly what your marriage needs, we just want to make this little video to give you a sense of what to do next.
Yeah, so whether you're the one who is thinking about divorce or the one who wants to kind of hold on to the marriage, it doesn't matter. You've decided that you want discernment counseling. And so make sure you've absorbed what you can on the website about it. Particularly make sure you know the difference between discernment counseling and couples therapy or marriage counseling, because this is not going to start solving your problems. The only thing this is designed to solve the problem is where you're going to go next. Okay. So keep that in mind. So even if your spouse were to say, well, we've tried marriage counseling, this is not marriage counseling, it's something different. So make sure you get that. And make sure you know it's brief. Okay. And so absorb it yourself so that if your spouse asks you questions, you can respond. But the big thing in terms of your spouse or partner is to ask them if they would read the website link. Okay. Your ask at first is not, would you do discernment counseling with me? Your ask is, would you look at this description? Because it seems to me this is what we need right now. Okay. And so let them go to the website, let them read about it, and then ask them if this is something they're interested in doing with you, and just make your case for why you think it's important. And don't be distracted by them saying, well, I don't think things could ever change. Well, I mean, maybe not, but this is a place for us to get a look at whether change is possible. Okay, this is the outside help. We're not talking, it's only 5 sessions tops. It's just decide one session at a time. They're only committed to one session at a time. So low bar, ask them to read it. If they are willing to do discernment counseling with you, that's when you contact the discernment counselor. Okay, so email, phone, whatever their preference is and your preference. That's when you make the contact, when you know your spouse is on board too. And then you let the counselor know that they will want to hear a phone message or email from your spouse, because the discernment counselor, before proceeding, wants to know both people are on board. They should not just take your word for it. Okay. And then the next step is a brief telephone screening with each of you separately to make sure you're good candidates for discernment counseling. And then presumably the green light's there, and then you set up the appointment. And so you may be feeling a sense of urgency or emergency about what's going on if your marriage is threatened now. I just want to urge you to take a breath, try to maintain calm, and then set up this process, which is, again, a brief process. But understand that there's some steps. To summarize those steps, make sure you understand it. Ask your partner to read the description on the website, get hopefully a yes from them. One of you contacts the therapist. The therapist is going to want to, and say, we're both on board. The therapist is going to hear it separately from the other person. And then you have your screening phone call separately, and then you have your go to start. So that's the process.
Yeah, so if you haven't already, discernmentcounselors.com has the list of all of the therapists. So you have choices. But again, the first decision point is getting on board with your spouse or partner that this is the service for you.